helmets. When we think of a helmet, maybe you guys think of something metal, kind of like this fencing helmet here. Great for keeping out swords. Or maybe you guys think of something more like this racing helmet here. Whenever we think of something meant to protect us, a lot of times we think of something that's kind of stiff. But what if I told you that there is a helmet material that is goo? Hi, my name is Professor Lee. Welcome to another STEM lab, and today we're going to be talking about non-Newtonian fluids. Let's talk about non-Newtonian fluids. Well, first let's think about what a Newtonian fluid is. A Sir Isaac Newton, a famous physicist, you guys might know him because he designed a lot of laws of physics. So all fluids, according to Mr. Newton, have constant viscosity. What does it mean when fluids have constant viscosity? Well, viscosity is basically how thick or thin a liquid is. Think of it this way. Water, this glass of water I have on the table here, is, pretty standard liquid. Now, what if I were to fill this cup with honey? The honey is much thicker and therefore has a higher viscosity than the water. So no matter how much I shake around this water, it's not going to get any thicker or thinner. Me mechanically doing something to it won't change the liquid. Non-Newtonian fluids say that that is wrong and say that a fluid's viscosity depends on what happens to the liquid. Now, some fluids are Newtonian, like water. No matter how much I stir or slap the water inside here, it's going to be the same. It's just water. Now we know that not all fluids have constant viscosity all the time. Now we know that there are fluids that if we increase the shear stress, that means that we can increase the viscosity. Almost to the point where it becomes a solid. So, where do you guys think scientists and engineers have applied this idea so that increases in shear stress and an increase in viscosity actually matters? I'm going to show you through a simple demo how we've decided to kind of work it through. But first, we need to make this non-Newtonian fluid. So let's get working on that first. What we're going to need is a glass of water, or some kind of water substance, a good amount of cornstarch. I've decided to keep mine in this bag here. And if you want, we can add some food coloring. If you want to make this at home, super easy, pretty cheap too, especially if you don't add the dye. So, let's get started, shall we? We're going to add directly equal parts water and cornstarch and mix it together in this bag. Time to bring in the big guns. If I shake the bag, if I tilt the bag, it's like a liquid. But if I shake it, see how it bunches up in the corner and doesn't move around? Mm-hmm. So now, this is a non-Newtonian fluid. So you guys can actually see it better now because it'll start to roll when I turn it. But this is how you know you have good oobleck. It'll be nice and fluid, but when you drop it, watch what happens. It plaps and then it spreads out, which means it's solid and then it melts. Scientists saw this and decided, hey, we could use this as armor. Since non-Newtonian fluids basically only change when they are, forced down. So, using this, scientists decided they could make vests out of it, or pads that are easy to move in and flexible. Here we have our test subject. As you can see, if I drop it on the ground, It breaks very violently into many, many pieces, which is, sure, it's kind of awesome, but also not super great if this represents, like, our face. Kind of don't want that to happen. Let's try and put what we know about non-Newtonian fluids into practice by making it so that this egg analog, or just kind of like force detector, basically, can survive. I built it up the same way. Can survive if it's submerged in a non-Newtonian fluid. Our blue black is way up here. We're going to drop it from the same height as we did the test with nothing on it. Let's see what happens. Egg drop with oobleck in 3, 2, 1. As you can see, nothing inside has broken. I can't feel any loose pieces. Take a look at that. All still intact. And that makes it really good at absorbing impacts. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the classroom.